so many songs are like massive presets. Like literally, you just press one button. Okay, got it. Or maybe like I don't know, Serum, like the most recent trend, right? The Afro house that you put the Afro house drum on top. It's literally the like, Serum on INT.
Yep, and it's funny. For me, when I first started producing, like I was going through, you might remember these, but like the Vengeance sample packs, which I still use today, or like the Nexus, early Nexus stuff like this. I still have the Nexus CD over here. That's how old I am, because it came on a DVD back then. But you go through those sounds and you're like, oh, that's the sound from Pon de Floor. Oh, that's the sound from, Axwell or whatever. I think even, I forget which pack it is, but like Calabria. So, dun, 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 dun. It's funny, if you go through Nexus synth shots in one of the packs, you hear the dun, then you go to the next sound, it's the dun, and then you go back. You know how you do it as a music producer? You go back, you're like, let me go back. And then you go dun, 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 dun. And it's like, oh my God, that's how Calabria was made. Is he was going through Nexus synth packs and like was like ba 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 ba. Oh, let me take this and resample it, and Calabria was born. So it's just funny going through some stuff and realizing like these guys just do what we do. It's just getting that creative spark and putting everything together.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, the end result matters over so many things, as well as the fact that I think creativity is the one that pays the bill.
Yeah.
It's not about how you do it.
It's not about how you do it or how it sounds. It's the creative aspect. And, back in my day, I came up, I guess, in the scene with a lot of talented producers. So there's a lot of talent over here in Jersey. There's a lot of talent like in New York. So it was very tough to quote unquote make it, but I did come up with a lot of talented guys. And, one guy specifically, like 4B, he used to play all of the teen nights that we did here in Jersey with me. And we're the same age as well. Bobby actually just had a kid too, him and his wife. So we share like the bond, like they're like 2 months apart, our kids. So like our wives were pregnant together. They were going to like baby showers together. So like, it was cool, like, going through that with Bobby too. We kind of like reconnected just having kids the same age again. But, I saw Bobby like have this hit record called, one was called Bomba Clat. Like that was like his first record. And for me, I was always like, oh, you have to have a hit record and it's got to be mixed and mastered and it's got to sound good. Like it's got to be the top quality. But then you take a look at the record like Bomba Clat. If you listen to it, like it's not the best mixed and mastered record in the world or whatever, but the idea was cool. And for someone like me, I didn't understand the idea at first, but then you take a look at everyone overseas. I remember my buddy being out in LA and they were like, where are you from? And he's like, New Jersey. They're like, oh, 4B, that record Bomba Clat. And he was like, that's the record like you think is amazing, but it's because that Jersey club sound was so fresh for them over there where we've had it always. And then you take a look at his next record, Whistle, that blew up, which I was fortunate enough to do one of the official remixes on it. There were like 20 people that did official remixes for that on DJ Snake's label. But again, like that record is not the best like mixed and mastered record in the world, but the idea was dope to put a whistle sound in a time where big room synths were dominating, put a whistle sound behind a big Jersey club 808, and that's literally the drop, it's a whistle and an 808. And that was the biggest track played that entire year. So sometimes it's just more about the idea than actually what else is going on under the hood. And that's where I have to dumb myself down a little bit when I song right now is this idea good? Like, and if it is, finish it. But if the idea is not initially good, it doesn't matter how much it's mixed and mastered. It's not going to do well, So working on the ideas and getting a catchy hook is way more important for me before I even finish the song than, just to work on something blindly.
Agreed. And it kind of brings me back to a little story time of that's how I first discovered you, because we were having this like mini obsession of bass music in Singapore, and our first international booking was DJ Tease from New Jersey Club as well.
Yes.
And then, he has the first official release on DJ Snake's label. And obviously, the first release, they want to make it super big. So, like what you said, right? They put out 20 remixes of Whistle. And you know that song is basically Whistle 4B featuring Tease or something like that. It's like their song.
I think it's a collab,
and then
yeah,
a bunch
4B
of
and
producers.
Tease. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And dude, Tease was like doing turntablism and everything while DJing Jersey Club. Everybody, wow, we all just died, man. It's like super insane. And then a few weeks later, I saw on DJ City, hey, there's like a Purari remix or something. Like, I was looking through all the remix, and the one that resonated with me the most. And then I have a night at Zouk main room, which is like a 2,500 capacity. Back then when I was a resident, wow, the reaction is so good, man. And that's how we kind of like first met. And wow, I still remember that day, man. Well, that was such a good song, and especially on the speakers, you can really hear like, oh man.
Well, it's funny too because like I obviously knew you through, I think, Revealed mostly, but I do remember you guys giving me such early support like in that time. So like eternally grateful for that. So thank you. And it's funny because, you know, I got one of the official remixes only from really just growing up with, you know, Tease is younger than me actually, but with Bobby and with, or 4B and Tease, he actually was also a teen night DJ, like, because we had teen nights where you were able to go to like these clubs at like 13, 14, 15 years old, like some of the biggest clubs here in Jersey. And Tease also did start as a DJ there. So like by the time he was like 19, 20, he already had, I think he started Tease, like he was younger than me, but I remember him opening up for stuff for like club lights, like for us. And he must have started at 13, 14 as well, because it was like the cool thing to do, like to be a DJ. So by the time he probably got to you guys over there, he was already skilled enough and like talented enough that he's been doing this for so long. He wasn't like this new guy on the block, you know? And yeah, he was really into Jersey Club. He made some killer remixes that I still find myself going back to and playing today. But to be honest with you, I haven't heard from him in so long. I hope he's doing okay. Like he kind of like disappeared off the face of the earth. And I think he's doing most of like, I want to say he's doing production still, but like maybe for other artists, or he's working on his own project. I don't know, but it's too bad we don't have him in like the dance music space anymore, because he was really like crushing it. But that Whistle remix was pretty big for me. And I remember a lot of people, like, I know Dioro played it like at Electric Zoo and like stuff like that. And people were like, dude, the mixing and mastering on that, how did you do it? And I was like, I don't even remember. I remember spending a lot of time on that. I think that was the first time I used like the Oxford inflator plugin, which was, I don't use it anymore, but like it made it like so loud.
I just used it yesterday, man.
I don't use it anymore, but I remember using it on that record. And like, it's funny, like if I opened up the project, like, and I go back and like look at it, I'll be like, what the fuck is going on in this? But I remember I remember that using the Oxford inflator and EQing the Whistle so much because it was, again, just like a poorly mixed sample, but it was hurting my ears so much. And I just like EQ'd it so much until I finally got to where I wanted to sit. And even still, like I'll play it and I'm like, I gotta like turn the highs down because it like completely destroys my ears. But that was fun to make. That one just happened so naturally. And I think that remix did so well because it was so different from the other ones. I think a lot of the other ones were like, you know, think about the remixes on the pack. There was like Nitty Gritty, Buy Low, all these like dubstep guys at the time. And I just went out of left field and did this big room offering of it with like Psytrance, and
Psytrance,
it worked. So